Christmas, a time of joy and wonder. It's a time for twinkling lights, happy songs, and festive cheer. The smell of gingerbread fills the air, bringing warmth to our hearts. It's a time that makes people happy all over the world. Families get together, give each other presents, and eat yummy food. The joy of sharing and togetherness is what makes it so special. Kids can't wait for Santa Claus to come, eagerly anticipating his arrival, with his reindeer flying through the sky, delivering joy to every home. But behind all of this, there's a really old and interesting history, filled with ancient traditions. It all started with old customs, Roman parties, and celebrations that have evolved over centuries. And of course, the story of Jesus, which is central to the holiday for many. Let's learn about how Christmas began and find out where all these beloved traditions came from. Christmas today is like a mix of lots of different traditions, each adding its own unique flavor, and each one has its own special story, passed down through generations. From the shiny lights on our houses that brighten up the night, to the songs we sing, everything has a past, a rich history, a story waiting to be told and cherished. Figuring out where Christmas came from is like opening a present, full of surprises. Every layer gives us a new surprise, a new piece of the puzzle, and helps us understand this special holiday even more, deepening our appreciation. So, let's go on an adventure and explore the rich and fascinating history of Christmas together. Way before there was Christmas, the Romans had their own winter festivals, which were vibrant and full of life. And guess what? These ancient festivals have had a significant influence on how we celebrate Christmas today, blending old traditions with new ones. One of these festivals was called Saturnalia. It was a whole week of parties in the middle of December to celebrate Saturn, the god of farming and agriculture. During Saturnalia, the social order was turned upside down. Slaves had a break from working, and everyone indulged in lots of food, played games, and exchanged gifts with one another. Another major Roman celebration was called Sol Invictus. It took place on December 25th, which was considered the shortest day of the year. This festival was all about honoring the sun god and celebrating the return of longer days after the winter solstice. Romans celebrated with grand feasts, lively games, and special ceremonies dedicated to their sun god, marking the importance of light and warmth. These festivals were very different from Christmas in their beliefs, but they had some things in common with how we celebrate Christmas today. Big meals, presents, and celebrating light during the darkest time of the year. These similarities are important because they helped shape Christmas into what it is today, blending ancient customs with modern traditions. As more and more people started to believe in Christianity, early Christians wanted to find a way to include their beliefs in the Roman traditions that were already popular. No one knew exactly when Jesus was born, but by the 4th century AD, the Church in Rome decided that December 25th would be the day to celebrate his birthday. But this wasn't just a random choice. Choosing December 25th for Christmas was a clever move, because it was already the same day as the Roman festivals of Saturnalia and Sol Invictus. This meant the Church could make these celebrations about Jesus, and slowly people started to see them as part of Christianity. By saying that Jesus, the light of the world, was born on the same day as Sol Invictus, the Church made the idea of light beating darkness into a Christian idea. It was like saying that Jesus is the one who brings hope and saves us. Section 4. Debating the date, the mystery of Jesus' birth. Even though the Church said that December 25th was Jesus' birthday, no one knows for sure when he was really born. The Bible doesn't say, and some experts think he might have been born in the spring or fall. Some people think December 25th was chosen because it was a special day, not because it was historically accurate. One idea is that early Christians thought Jesus was conceived on March 25th, which is 9 months before December 25th. This idea, from a Christian historian named Sextus Julius Africanus, made the December 25th date even more important for the Church. But no matter when Jesus was really born, Christmas gave early Christians a chance to celebrate his birth and think about how his life and teachings changed their lives. Christmas became a time for being happy and hopeful, even in the middle of winter. Section 5. From pagan customs to Christian traditions, the evolution of Christmas. Over hundreds of years, Christmas traditions changed and grew, and they started to include things from different cultures and beliefs. For example, decorating evergreen trees probably started in Germany, and it represents the idea of living forever. Feasting, which was a big part of Saturnalia and is still important at Christmas, became a way to be thankful for the food from the harvest and to share meals with people we love. Even the word Christmas comes from before Christianity. It might come from the Old English words Christus Missa, which means Christ's Mass. This shows how old customs and Christian beliefs came together to make Christmas what it is. And our Christmas dinner, with turkey or goose, is similar to the feasts people had at the winter solstice a long time ago. Back then, they ate and drank mead to celebrate the sun coming back. Section 6. The Legacy of St. Nicholas, from Generous Bishop to Santa Claus. We can't talk about Christmas without talking about Santa Claus. He's the jolly figure who brings joy and excitement to children all over the world. He's the jolly guy who represents being generous and spreading happiness during the holiday season. The story of Santa Claus comes from St. Nicholas, a bishop who lived in Myra, in modern-day Turkey, in the 4th century. His legacy has traveled through time and space. St. Nicholas was known for being very good and generous, especially to poor people. His acts of kindness were legendary. One famous story tells how St. Nicholas saved 3 poor sisters from being sold by giving their father money so they could get married. This was just one of many acts of compassion. This act of kindness, along with many other stories, made St. Nicholas famous for protecting children and being generous. His reputation grew far and wide. Over time, the story of St. Nicholas spread throughout Europe, and it changed a little bit each time someone told it. Each culture added its own touch. By the 16th century, he had become the Santa Claus we know today, bringing presents to children on Christmas Eve. The transformation was complete. This shows how traditions can change over time and in different places. The essence remains, but the form evolves. Stories and characters can become part of a holiday and mean different things to different people. Santa Claus is a perfect example of this phenomenon. Section 7. A global celebration, the many faces of Christmas today. Today people celebrate Christmas in many different ways all over the world. Each culture has its own way of celebrating, which makes Christmas even more special. From the exciting parties in Latin America to the more serious traditions in Eastern Europe, Christmas is celebrated in so many ways. In some cultures, Christmas is still mostly about religion, with midnight church services and nativity scenes. In other cultures, it's more about family, presents, and special meals. But even though people celebrate differently, the main message of Christmas is the same everywhere: hope, peace, and being kind to each other. When we decorate our Christmas trees, sing carols, and give each other presents, we're part of a tradition that's thousands of years old. It reminds us to be hopeful, generous, and to celebrate the light, especially when it's dark outside.